What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bucco Territory, presented to you by the Foul Territory Network. I'm Noah Hiles. Joining me on today's show is Platinum Key, a.k.a. Mark. Josh Harrison is on vacation. How selfish of him to go on a family vacation in the summertime and enjoy his time. No,
especially after he gave all of us fans like every single one of his summers before. Yeah, I guess he can take one or two off.
Yeah, and also, as a guy who literally bought this SEC Champions women's golf T-shirt on his vacation where he just was. Yeah, so Mark, I don't know what we would do if you went on vacation.
We'll figure it out.
No, I hope
my laptop travels. Yeah,
your vacations are to this.
I was going to say it's to PNC Park. Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking today. I was like, it's been too long, and it's been like a week and a half or two or something. Right. Yeah, so
your Airbnb is the futon.
Right behind you. Yeah, it's pretty comfy. So highly recommend.
So pretty simple show today. The Pirates. We're recording this Thursday evening after the Pirates just wrapped up a series victory over the Seattle Mariners. They improved to 41-40 on the year, which marks the exact halfway mark of the 2026 season. We did this at the end, I believe. Did we do this? Yeah, we did this at the end of the first quarter of the season. Right? We're gonna do our midterm report card for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I have the first quarter report card pulled up so we can compare and contrast our grades. But the way we're going to do this first segment of the show, this opening segment, we're going to do starting pitching and bullpen. The second segment, we'll do catcher, infield, and outfield. And then the last segment will just be coaching and then our overall grade. So that's where we're at. Mark, we'll start off with starting pitcher. You tipped your hand to me before we started recording.
The one grade you know. Yeah.
So you have the starting pitching in an A-.
Yeah, I think just with how good Braxton Ashcraft and Paul Skeens have been, it's really hard for me to go below an A just with the two of them included in this grade. Mitch Keller has been somewhat disappointing. I don't think we've seen the best of Mitch Keller so far. Bubba Chandler got off to a slow start and has started to really pick things up. Jared Jones, we've only seen a very small sample size of, and Carmen Mlodzinski looked good when he was in the rotation. So I think A- is probably a little optimistic. I'm probably a little bit higher than you. But this is a team that this starting pitching staff has really made up for a lot of errors and made up for like a lot of deficits with this team as well. I'm trying to pull up here. I was going to have their fan graphs. There we go. They have the third best or ninth best ERA in Major League Baseball right now, ninth best WHIP, giving up the least home runs and striking out the fifth most per nine. So top third of Major League Baseball for this rotation, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement as well, as we see Bubba Chandler taking a step forward, as Jared Jones gets back into the mix of things, as Paul Skeens kind of reverts back to what he should be. I think right now he's getting a little unlucky with the results, but under the hood, everything looks great. I'm pretty content with the starting pitching. I don't think that's been an issue for this team, so I went A-. What about you?
I'm a lot different than you. I gave them a B-.
Okay.
And I'm grading the starting pitching harder than any other element of this team, just because I know it can be so much better.
Right. Yeah. First expectation.
It's almost like the starting pitching is taking an AP class, and I'm grading it there.
I get that.
I would say they're like I'd give them like an 82% on the season, which is like a B-, C+, maybe a little higher, like an 83, but that's like a B-. And right. They're definitely above average, and like they're an asset. Anything above a C+, I think, is an asset to the team. They've been an asset. But aside from Braxton, I can't really pinpoint another starter that from game 1 to game 81 has exceeded or even met the expectations I've had. And now there's different reasons for all of these guys. Like Paul Skeens, we've talked about on the show. I think he's just been the victim of some really bad fielding.
Exactly.
And that's kind of hindered his numbers a little bit. But he's also not going as deep into the games as I would like to see, which I think fielding, again, plays a part in that, but not all of it. Mitch Keller's had a bad year for Mitch Keller standards, especially in the front half of the year compared to how he normally pitches in the first half of the season. This has probably been one of his worst first half since he became this established
Exactly.
top end of the rotation type pitcher. Jared Jones has been still a little too early to judge, I think. There's been some good, there's been some bad. Carmen, same thing. Although I'm docking Carmen points because of his antics.
Yes.
And Bubba Chandler wasn't good for a large majority of this first half, but it's hard not to feel encouraged with what he's done recently.
Yeah.
So overall, people are going to see the B- if we make a graphic for this, and they're going to be like, oh, there's no, again, being hard on the Pirates. But I am hard on this pitching staff because I know if it clicks and plays to the level that it can be something similar to what the Seattle Mariners had last year.
Yeah.
Like a really, really lethal rotation, 1 through 5, wherever you fall in a series, these guys can change a game. They give you an advantage. And I feel like for the most part, the starting pitching's kept the Pirates in just about all of their games. I feel like there's so much more for them to achieve. I don't think they're a better rotation than they were last year overall. And last year, and the goal was to be better. So that's why I give them a B-. We'll move on now to the bullpen, and I'll keep this short and sweet. I'm giving them an F.
Yep.
The bullpen is a failing grade. If the bullpen was just even, if the bullpen could get a C- mark, this team would be where the St. Louis Cardinals are right
easy.
They would be at the top of the wild card. They would be 6-7 games over 500 rather than 1. They would be looking into. I just wrote a column saying they don't deserve to be buyers right now until more like this current group shows it's capable of being anything more than average. The Pirates have never been more than 5 games over 500. They've never fallen lower than 2 games under 500. They've just kind of hovered in that middle area, which is where they are now. And I think if the bullpen had just been even close to what we expected it to be, which wasn't even anything special, we just expected it to be an average bullpen. If it was just an average bullpen, this would be a team that would be getting tons more attention right now. But the bullpen has held this team back. And unlike other areas of the team, you could point out the poor fielding, right? But most of the guys who stink at fielding are also hitting the absolute piss out of the
bringing value somewhere else.
There's more value, right? Where it's just like the bullpen's just not giving you much. So I give it an F. Do you have anything better than an F on this, Mark?
I went D just because I'm me. But there's an argument for F. I will say, as frustrating as this bullpen has been, they're not the worst in baseball. They have the 19th worst ERA, or 19th best ERA, 20th WHIP, 24th walks per 9, 5th in K per 9. So it's been bad, and it's been bad at the worst times. But I think there's still room for them to get a worse grade. So that's why I kept it as a D, because there's always room to go down. But
I see where you're looking more at like metrics, and when I would do my report cards when I was on the beat, that's how I would do. I'd pull up fan graphs and compare and contrast. But I'm more grading this on the expectations for this team and how
the assignment that they had.
And it's like the starting pitching has been good, but I know it can be better. The bullpen has objectively failed this team.
Absolutely.
Through 81 games. So to compare, in the first quarter, I had the starting pitching at an A-, as did Mark. Mark kept that grade. I pushed it down to a B- at the midterm grade. And then my bullpen grade was a C+. Mark's was a B-. So Mark dropped down to a D. I dropped down to an F. Josh had an A and C for the starting pitching and bullpen. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, catchers, infield, and outfield here on Bucco territory.
Hey, SeatGeek is MLB's official ticket marketplace. And in addition to finding every single game on the MLB calendar, there are big events coming up very soon.
There's an all-star game. There's a home run derby. And if you think you're perfect and you can pick the right seat at the home run derby to get the most home run balls, you can get the little green dot, and that might be your lucky seat. Don't go red dot, though, because you might not get any balls. But go green dot, and get as many home run balls as you think you can catch.
Yep. You click the seat, you check out what your view is. Each ticket's rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. And that's what AJ's talking about. Green good, red bad, with those dots. And the code for you, Territory10, for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any MLB tickets. with promo code Territory10. Make sure you click the link in the description of this episode. That'll help you download the app and get the code automatically added to your account so that you can use it later. Thank you to SeatGeek.
All right, picking back up, midterm grades for the Pirates. We start with the catcher position now in the second segment. Mark, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest ones for me to assess because I feel like it's changed pretty recently. I think if you would have asked just a few weeks ago what the grade would be for catcher, my grade would be a lot worse than it is now. I went C- for catchers.
Okay.
Solely because I've so encouraged with what Endy Rodriguez has been doing. He's up to 0.7 F4 on this season right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Obviously, Henry Davis, we just talked in detail about how his struggles have been super frustrating and detrimental. And obviously Joey Bart just got traded for a guy that was DFA'd. So outside of Endy, things are really, really, really bad. And I get that. But if Endy Rodriguez can step up and continue to call games like he did on Wednesday night, where we saw Braxton Ashcraft and Carmen Mlodzinski throw the highest strike percentage of any Pirates game since they tracked it starting in, I think, 2000. So the highest strike percentage of any game in the last 27 years with Endy Rodriguez calling the game. Pirates didn't throw a ball at all. Like, he looks like he can be the starting catcher on this team. I think you can still improve that. But yeah, I'm really encouraged by Endy, and that's why I went all the way up to a C-. What about you? I know you're going to probably not be that close.
I mean, you also saw Henry Davis get 2 hits today, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Homer, nice little double. Yeah. He's back.
I gave him a D in the first quarter. I'll stay with the D. I was tempted to go F, but they haven't been as bad as the bullpen. I mean, Henry Davis has been bad. Endy Rodriguez has been good. We've just seen less of Endy.
Right.
And Joey Bart was replacement level, I guess, while he was here. It's not like I had high expectations for this group, but it's just Henry Davis has just not been even close to good enough. And
our expectations were low, and still haven't gotten there.
And so and Endy's been fine. Endy's been good at certain points. But overall, I mean, this is a well below average catching staff.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I stick with the D grade. I won't go any lower than that.
Yeah, there's a reason why 2 of our trade targets in our episode previously were catchers, because this position group needs some help.
Infield. I'll start off here. Mr. Tough Grader. I'm giving the infield an A.
I was curious about this one.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of bad things to say. Now, there have been some bad defensive plays. Like Spencer's made some bad plays. Nick's made some bad plays. Connor made one really bad play that one time when he spiked the ball. But that was just one literal mistake.
Yeah.
But overall, man, and Triolo's been he's been a weak bat, but I don't know how much more you could have hoped to get from this group. Lau is the best offensive second baseman in the National League. Spencer Horwitz is one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball right now. Connor Griffin, before he got injured, was way better than I anticipated him being. And I thought he would be good, but the month of May, he's an impact player. Yeah. He's going to have a 3 to 4 WAR season this year if he can come back and stay healthy. And then Nick Gonzalez, man, I mean, he hasn't been amazing, but he hasn't been a total liability. I was super concerned about third base. And, I mean, Nick York started it off well. And then Nick Gonzalez earned that spot. Yeah. He took it from Triolo and York, and he's been good. And they've got good contributions from, some bench guys, too. Callahan as, a rotating piece has been a nice little bump over the last couple of weeks. Overall, I can't remember a Pirates infield being this productive in a long time, really. I mean, you'd have to go back to when Josh was playing, when they had, him and David Freese and Jordy Mercer and, or even the teams before that when they were a playoff team. I mean, they have 3 guys who are going to be like 4 WAR players in this infield.
Mm-hmm.
I again, like we could go back and look, but it would be my guess at least a decade since that's been the reality here in Pittsburgh, where 3 of your starting 4 infielders are 4-win players.
I mean, first base alone, you look
Right.
at that, and that's just such a massive, massive improvement from the past few years. So,
and second base too. I mean, Lau. I don't know. I mean, Lau's probably not going to be here for more than this season, but like that's one of the best trades the Pirates have made in
such a perfect
long,
fit.
long time.
Yeah.
He's been excellent, and he's been even better defensively than I anticipated. Connor with the extension, with everything, you feel good when you look at that infield. There have been very few times where you're just like, who are they playing today?
Yeah.
And that's been the case for the Pirates infield for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no complaints. Mark, do you have anything different to add?
I kind of do, actually. I went lower. I went A-.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Solely because I think the defense has been a little disappointing. Obviously, that's going to change with Connor coming back. Because I just Triolo at shortstop is just And I think Nick Gonzalez has made a couple throws that have just really cost this team. But outside of that, I mean, it's been, so good.
They're opposed to the next group, who I would argue is probably even better offensively.
Yeah.
Like, the hitting production from the infield is here, and their defensive ineptitude is here.
Right.
Whereas the outfield, it's a little bit more even.
Yeah.
Probably not even that close, but you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like their pros so heavily outweigh their cons. And I also expected this to be a poorly fielding
true
infield.
Yeah.
Like, I thought their defense was going to suck. And it's hard for me to dock them a ton with Triolo at shortstop because he's not a shortstop, and we kind of knew this.
Yeah.
And sometimes when your starting shortstop gets hurt, you have to play someone out of position for the time being. But overall, 81 games in, I could not imagine this infield being realistically much better than what it has been.
Yeah.
So, we'll move on now to the outfield. That's crazy. I have a higher grade than
I know.
For context, infield grades, I had them at a B+ in the first quarter. Mark had them at an A-. So, all right, I'm going to go with the outfield now. I'll start us off again. I'll go with a B. I think, I mean, it's
a tough
kind of weird
grade. Yeah,
it's tough to grade, but I mean, I will say their outfield defense hasn't been horrible.
It's gotten better
in the last month.
Yeah,
right? But I mean, Brian Reynolds takes this group to a higher letter grade, man. I mean, he's been good. O'Hearn looks like a Russell Martin-esque signing.
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz was playing fantastic, and Mangum is a flawed player in some areas. I wish he would have a little bit more patience in his approach at the plate.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think he over hustles and creates problems. But overall, he's a good 4th outfielder on a team. And when a guy goes down like Cruz, you feel fine with Jake Mangum being your center fielder for an extended stretch. And a guy who he helps the team win games. So, I'll go with the outfield as a B, Mark. I think, again, in comparison to prior groups and even as far as expectations, I was concerned with how Lau and Reynolds would perform offensively. Right. Not Lau and Reynolds, O'Hearn and Reynolds would perform offensively with the demand of being an everyday outfielder.
Yeah.
And I think both of them have been really good. So,
the
Brian defense
Reynolds
still sucks out there, but they're killing the baseball.
Yeah. I went A- for the outfield because I recognize the defensive woes, but we've seen a vast improvement, especially with Jake Mangum getting more playing time.
Yeah.
I think that's helped both O'Hearn and Reynolds as well, just because Mangum can cover up a little bit more of what they're not great at with their corner defense. Brian Reynolds is having just a fantastic season. I think it's up to like 3.0. I think it's F-WAR already. And just, that's crazy. 81 games through the year. He's played every single game. He hasn't. I don't think he started every single game, but he's played in every single game. Ryan O'Hearn, just perfect fit. And then, Cruz, before he got hurt, he was really taking a step forward, on pace for 30-30. Obviously has the strikeout issues are still like an issue for him, and the defense was getting better, I'd like to say, before he got hurt. So, I think this outfield group has kind of exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, and I'll even add in, I like the supplemental help. Not that anyone is, Callahan has been getting a lot of run in the outfield, and he's been, like we said, he's been a good little jolt. But even the fact that they were able to bring up Garcia and Valdez, and in past Pirates teams, like when those guys are coming up, it's like, hey, good luck. We need you to bat like fifth, and like the weight of the world's on your shoulders. They've allowed them to come up and fail, and they've had good moments. Like Garcia's had a couple of good games. Valdez had some really good moments as well. But they've got their toes wet. They're both going to be guys who play an impact on this team in years down the road. And this has been good for them too, that they have this outfield depth where they can get by without. We said Cruz got hurt, Mangum I believe was hurt at some point this year, and O'Hearn was hurt. And the outfield for the most part has been a net positive. So I'll go with a B. I think I had them at a B minus mark. You had them at a B plus in our first quarter grades. So we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, DH grade, coaching grade, overall grade here on Bucco Territory.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. So are you ready to play your game? Head over to FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. That's FanDuel.com/podcast to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, we pick back up with the DH grade.
Ooh.
It was easy. I mean, it's an F. And I don't want to spend too much time on this because we've talked about Marcell Ozuna probably more than any other player on the show. But you just go back and look at it, and it's like that acquisition screwed up so much. Because if you spend that $12 million on the bullpen, on another left side infielder, on another outfielder, on literally another starter,
catcher, anywhere,
anything else, literally anything else, even a better DH who can occasionally play in the field, they're a better team.
Like in Andrew McCutchen, maybe?
No, that probably wouldn't have worked either. But I'm just thinking out loud here. Like, it's just like the bullpen just hasn't performed. Ozuna has just brought them down. He's like an anchor. He weighs them down. He just makes them worse, and they're just kind of stuck with this now. And I hate to hone in on this and hammer this home, but again, we're halfway through the season, and he's just been one of the worst players in baseball from the very start. He didn't look good in spring. For all the other good moves they made, he almost kind of undid the momentum of some of them just by being this bad. And it's just funny because I was like, oh, well, if we're grading the DH spot, could I give it a better grade than a failing grade? Because how other people perform.
Exactly.
And the reality is,
thinking,
literally every other person you put at DH has just been better than Ozuna. It could be Cruz, it could be Reynolds, it could be O'Hearn, Connor Griffin. Those 2 games, Lau, and that's where I'm encouraged because if they eventually do cut bait with this guy, that's such an opportunity where if they get in a place where they can make a big addition. You have that revolving I would love to see this team with a revolving DH position where they could add another position player and get really creative with their lineup, because
it fits this roster
Ozuna's
so
just
well.
a hindrance.
Yeah.
Did you give?
I went D- solely because they've stopped playing Ozuna so much, and other people are playing. So I felt like I needed to recognize that. Yeah, I know. I got your logic. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, well, you should have been doing this all year, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
all right. This is the hardest one to grade.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching. Mark, I'll let you start.
All right. I give Don. Well, all encompassing for coaching.
All encompassing.
So I would give Don Kelly a B, but I think this whole staff I would give probably like a B-, C+, right around there, because obviously Bill Murphy has been. The results for Bill Murphy's staff, I should say, have not been good. And when the staff was so good last year and wanted to improve and take a step forward, that's been extremely disappointing. I think Don Kelly has done a great job with this clubhouse, the cohesion. I think these guys really seem like they're teammates and believe in each other and want each other to succeed and are better with each other around, rather than just a bunch of 26 individual ball players all trying to improve their career. It feels like they're trying to win for the team, most of them, at least. And so I think Don Kelly's done a fantastic job of getting those guys to buy in, believe in themselves, believe in this franchise. Way easier said than done. So props to Don Kelly. He just got his 100th win as of we're recording this. But outside of that, I think like third base coach, first base coach, no issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just the pitching coach has been the biggest concern. I think Matt Haig, you could probably say, has been
better,
pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to judge because like you're seeing Lau and O'Hearn and Reynolds, all these like established veterans. It's exactly who I was going to. Is I think Spencer Horwitz is someone that Matt Haig can really say, I helped with that a little bit, but I helped, and so I think that's good. How'd you grade the coaching staff?
I gave it a C. I think it's been average. I'll start with Don Kelly. First things first. What a lot of people who like aren't around the team, like I've had obviously very good access to the Pirates, and I talk to people who are in the front office, who work for the team, who are around the team, who are on the team, and you get a really good idea of how things work day to day there. This is not an easy organization to be the manager for. You got to deal with a lot of headaches that you probably don't have to deal with at other franchises.
Yep.
That's just the reality of a lot of small market teams, but especially a small market team where they don't have a winning culture, they don't have a lot of success, and like they're more known for their ineptitude than anything else.
Yeah. And
so I give Don Kelly a lot of credit for handling the things that don't get out there. Things that, rumors that I hear, and I'm like, it's not enough for me to report, but you just hear stories, you hear things, and it's like, and some of it's not even worth reporting, but it's just small little things where it's like, you might think your boss is an idiot or isn't doing good enough, but then like you really sit down and you see what your boss goes through every day, and you're like, you know what? I can understand why he goes about certain things this way, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I'm not suggesting it's like dysfunctional or there's drama or anything. There's just a lot of moving pieces in a baseball organization. And it's just the Pirates aren't always organized as a franchise. The messaging isn't always on the same page. Don Kelly has to kind of consider a multitude of factors every time he makes a decision, when it comes to building a lineup, when it comes to who he plays, all that kind of stuff. And I think considering all the hoops that he has to jump through, I admire the way he's gone about that. I have a lot of respect for that, and I think the players do too. And he's made every decision, I think, with the players in mind, keeping that cohesion, keeping everyone in lockstep in that clubhouse. And as someone who was around last year's clubhouse, where it was one of the worst team cultures I've ever been around, from little league all the way up to professional sports, just to see that change overnight. And obviously that comes with players and credibility and winning, But
Right.
Don Kelly sets that tone, and I give him credit there. As far as his in-game management, yeah, it hasn't been amazing. I do think there are a lot of times where I agree with some of the decisions Don Kelly makes,
Yeah.
and they just immediately backfire.
Mhm.
Like the other day, I had no issue with him keeping Mitch Keller in that game.
Right.
And then for of all people, Cole freaking Young,
Yeah.
a kid who grew up in Wexford,
Another
like
Pittsburgh
Cumberland High
kid
School,
coming to the plate.
another Whitfield
Yeah.
kid. Seriously, I mean, between Weatherholt, him, Ian Happ, like
Yep.
it's like Don Kelly. And the funny part is knows all of these dudes
Yeah.
because they all grew up
Right.
in Western PA, and they just are bruising him. But like, yeah, it's the Mitch Keller thing. I mean, again, there have been some decisions that I disagree with in real time. I'm like, why are you doing this? But there are a lot of times where I'm like, you know what? That is probably what I would have done too.
Yeah.
Considering all factors at hand. And boy, did it just not work. Boy, did it immediately blow up in his face. And you can call that bad management. I think it's just more like, hey, man, this is the choice I've got.
That's
It just
baseball.
didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's baseball, right? So, yeah, Kelly, that's my thoughts on him. Haig, good. Murphy, bad. I mean, at least for now, anyway. And then overall, yeah, I just think it's an average staff. I don't think my big takeaway on this coaching staff is I don't think it's made the team any better overall as a net. I don't think it's made the team much better. I also don't think it's holding the team back. Like there are a lot of people who believe, oh, if you fire Don Kelly, it's like no, I don't think so. Like I don't think Don it's a replacement level coaching staff right now. Could it be better? Yes. Could it be a lot worse? I think so too. So, and ultimately, if you have a replacement level coaching staff and good players, you should have a decent team.
Yeah.
So that's my view. So that's my grade, C. Did you give yours yet?
Yeah, I said B minus. Yeah,
right.
B minus,
B
C plus. Yeah,
my bad.
But no, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
It's been a long day. And then overall, Mark, as we wrap it up, overall grade on the Pittsburgh Pirates. What are you grading them through 81 games?
I'm going the same I gave Don Kelly and the coaching staff, B minus. I think they're slightly above average this year for how well they performed. But like we said earlier, this bullpen has cost at least probably like 5 or 6 games where I think those shift in their favor. That grade gets bumped up quite a bit. But for how close this team has to play with the margins, with this wild card race, it's just been a hair disappointing at times. Overall good. I mean, they have a winning record halfway through the season. That's feels fun to say as a Pirates fan.
Yeah.
At the same time, we expected that from this team. I personally expected just a little bit more. I think they're basically on pace for your prediction of like 82 and 80 or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, overall, slightly above average, but I think that there was so much meat left on the bone still with this team.
Yeah, that's why I give it a C+. I mean, I wrote it the other day. They're the definition of mediocre.
Yep.
Overall, like you look at my report card, I have, a couple of Bs, an A, couple of Fs, and then some Cs. Like I think it averages out to just being like a C.
Right.
And they're 41 and 40. And so, and now if you're grading it compared to last year's team, it's an A.
Yeah,
They're
easy.
so much better.
Yeah.
But I'm grading it compared to what they're trying to do, which is reach the playoffs. And while they've been better and they're still in the mix, the reality is the National League is really good this year. And being a little better than average just isn't good enough. Like I do think that this team's potential and overall body of work is probably better than a 41 and 40 record.
Yeah.
But the reality is you are what your record is. And they are one game over 500 right now. If they get healthy and get better, that's great. If they make additions at the deadline, that's great. But this is the Pirates we're talking about. Nothing is guaranteed. Health is not guaranteed. They just lost Spencer Horowitz. We don't know, even if you buy at the deadline. The last time this team bought at the deadline, it couldn't have gone worse. Like with the transactions, with the results that immediately followed, all of it went horribly. So it's not just to assume, oh, they're going to make a trade and it'll take it to the next level. Who's to say this trade's going to work, right? Whenever it does come. So I just think, it's an average team right now, one that does certain things well, one that certain things they struggle with.
Yep.
So I give it a C plus with the potential of being a B team in
Yeah.
moving forward.
And I think that's a great grade for the Pirates to be,
Yeah.
for them with down Connor Griffin, down O'Neal Cruz. We've had injuries we've mentioned a couple of people already this year, and that's part of the game. But when you're still in the thick of things with two of your best players down, I'm encouraged by how the first half has gone.
Yeah, I am too. I just think, I think if you would have asked a lot of Pirates fans, if you would have went to them and said, "Hey, here's how Reynolds is playing, here's how Cruz played, here's how Lau was performing in O'Hearn, here's what the record is halfway through the season, here's where you are in the standings,"
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would have taken it.
Oh yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, and honestly, it's like you mentioned, Mark. This is pretty much exactly how I envision this team playing.
Yeah.
It's just they're just a little bit better than average.
Yep.
So, want to remind everyone to hit that subscribe button if they haven't already. We're on a mission to 3,000 subs. Can't get there without your help. We appreciate everyone's support. And if you want to support the show even further, head to the Bucco Territory team store where you can get all of your Bucco Territory merch. You've got t-shirts, hoodies, gym bags, coffee mugs, bucket hats, and everything else you can think of to support the show, support the Pirates. Mark, any final thoughts as we wrap up another week here on Bucco Territory?
So excited to get Connor Griffin back from injury. He was back in Pittsburgh on Thursday. Had his rehab start in Altoona Wednesday. Hit a home run, triple. I'm so ready to see him back. I've really missed watching him play. This team is just so much more fun to watch when he's out there. So I can't wait. What about you?
It'll be fun. Do I have any parting thoughts? No, not really.
Yeah.
Hope Josh is having fun on vacation.
Exactly.
Hope you all are enjoying the show. I'll just say this. We are entering a very fun time in the baseball calendar. July is coming. We have the draft coming up. We have the All-Star break. We have the trade deadline. This is real. And the Pirates are a part of it.
They're in
They're
it.
a part
Yeah.
of it. They're in it. They're probably not as in it as they should be, but they're in it. And honestly, I think, again, every fan for this team would have signed up for this at the beginning of the year. Things could be so much worse. And
so much worse. We
it's
saw
going to
last
be
year.
a really fun stretch ahead over the next 2-3 months to see how everything unfolds in the next 81 games. And we'll be there to document it all. He's Platinum Key, a.k.a. Mark. I'm Noah Hiles, signing off, saying thanks for tuning in to another episode of Bucco Territory, presented to you by the Foul Territory Network. Take care.
If you've made it this far, you'll love this next video. Check it out right here, and make sure you subscribe to Bucco Territory for more Pirates coverage like this multiple times a week.